What's going on, everybody? I'm John Opinion Sports, and today I'm going to talk about some tight ends the Giants could target in free agency. Kyle Rudolph most likely getting cut in the next couple months, or possibly this month. The Giants only have one tight end under contract, that's Caden Smith, who could also be cut. I saw something it would save $2.5 million if they move on from him, so that could be another possibility. I think Caden will probably be here to start next season, just a feeling, but I could see Joe Schoen just doing a clean sweep. I'm not going to talk about the possibility of Mike Gesicki. I already did a video on him already, or Dalton Schultz signing here, because I don't see the Giants spending big money on a tight end. Although, I would love Gesicki. He'd be great for Daniel Jones. I'm going to talk about some cheaper options at tight end, a couple mid-level guys the Giants could target. Them are the things I think that are a little bit more realistic. I should also note that this year's draft is just loaded with tight ends, and I would love to snag one of them third-round picks. There are some excellent players. But let's not waste any time. The first tight end I chose is Zach Ertz. He's starting to get a bit older, and his production isn't what it used to be. But Zach Ertz could still be a damn good weapon for Daniel Jones. His route running and pass catching has tons of value for an NFL team, and he graded out pretty good last season in Arizona. I think it's fair to question how much production he can actually give you at this point of his career, but I don't think you'll have to give this guy like a 5-year deal like Kelsey got in Kansas City or something. I don't see a team giving him more than a year or two on a deal. If you can sign him for 1 year, $7-8 million, I'd be good with that. Give Daniel Jones a real security blanket. Now, if he's asking for something like 2 years, $20 million, 3 years, 30, I'd pass. We don't need to take a risk of bringing in another Kyle Rudolph type of deal. But I love the idea of Zach Ertz, at least for next season. The next tight end I could see the Giants being interested in is Gerald Everett. He's coming off of a 1-year, $6 million contract with the Seahawks, and I see a similar type of contract for him this year. There's always a possibility someone could just throw him a 3-year deal, but I feel like we need to see a bit more from him. He's obviously got great athleticism and hands, but can we see him put up a couple of huge production years before we pay this man? I think you can sign Everett just like Zach Ertz in that $7-8 million range. If it's longer than just a 1 year or even possibly a 2, I'm not feeling it. I'm not even sure about a second season. So I do like the thought of a tight end like Everett, though. You can flex him out and really use him in multiple ways. He has some struggles against man coverage at times, and obviously he isn't going to give you a ton of value in the run blocking, but I do like him, and I view him as a fit in Daboll's offense. The next tight end is Evan Ingram. No, I'm just fucking with you guys. That dude's long gone. Now, the real next tight end is Max Williams. This might be my personal favorite. I love his all-around game. First off, Williams is an excellent run blocker. Since 2017, Williams has a run block rate of 82.3. That's third best in the NFL with tight ends that have at least 1,000 run blocking snaps. Now, I'm going to have to bring up the torn ACL. He tore it week 5 or 6, I believe, so he missed 2/3 of the season. But he was on his way to a great year. Through week 5, he had a 78.8 overall grade. So it really sucked he got hurt. At least he tore his ACL early in the year, so he'll be ready week 1 next year. But I love this dude's hands. Just he catches everything that comes his way. I think you can put him in a system that relies on tight ends more, and he can put up a lot better numbers than we've seen. Baltimore and Arizona really used him mostly in short yardage situations. I'd like to just see his targets go up. There may be some injury concerns, but I don't see Williams getting any kind of big money. I think you could snag him in that $5 to $6 million range. I'm leaning more towards 5, and that's fine by me. And I'll just trust Joe Schoen's judgment on this. If he goes for it, cool. If he don't, I'm good with it. The next guy I'm going to talk about is Alie-Cox. This guy intrigues me. He's another one of those former basketball guys that converted to tight end and just didn't have much experience. We've seen that work well for other players. I believe Tony Gonzalez, Antonio Gates, Jamie Graham, they all come to mind as a similar type of thing. Now, Alie-Cox hasn't had the best production in the NFL, but you got to realize, he's second fiddle to Jack Doyle in Indy. I think he's going to get a shot at tight end 1 and blow up. That's just my opinion. He has to get that shot, obviously. But I really do feel like he has all the tools. Just great hands. He's a huge yards after catch guy. And he really understands how to get open in zone coverage. And that's something you don't normally see from players that have a little experience like he does. That just makes all this stuff even more impressive. Now, you might have to pay a bit extra for his potential, but I don't think I would mind that much. Now, I think he's going to be had in that $5 to $7 million range next year. If the Giants could get him on the lower end of that, I'd be cool with it. Most likely, the Giants are going to give a deal to somebody like that $7-8 million range. it'll probably be an edge rusher or an offensive lineman. So if the price goes too high, I don't see this being a realistic signing. But listen, there is a couple really cheap, interesting tight ends that you could get in this free agency, like OJ Howard. He could be had for probably a couple million, and he could give you some production through the air. Robert Tonyan from Green Bay, you could possibly get him on the cheap. He's coming off a torn ACL. We have seen, you could say, hey, he's got Aaron Rodgers, but we have seen production. Just be fair and call it is what it is. Jared Cook is out there. He's old as hell, decrepit, but he's still effective in the pass game. So there is a few cheaper, routes you could go. Just toss $1.5 million to $3 million to these guys, and you probably get some production in your offense. But being this is Daniel Jones last year, I really want him to get that real security blanket in here and give this kid a real shot at making, a future here. Because this is it, folks. He gets hurt again, he has an off season, it's done. We're drafting a quarterback next year. So let me know what you guys think of the tight ends I chose. Do you think there's other tight end that I missed that you would rather have, high end or low end of the pay scale? Who's your favorite out of these? Just whichever, all tight ends. I want it in the comments. Let me know. Hit me up. But thank you guys. The recent growth has been amazing, and I didn't see it coming, to be honest with you. So thank you. Like, subscribe if you're new. I got tons of other free agent videos all the way up until free agents is done. I got tons of draft stuff coming. I'm taking the last couple days off of that, but that's going to reemerge here probably tomorrow or the day after. So like, subscribe, and peace.